We don't want to try to get away from his wrestling. We want to him up in his game. You can't think that you're going to beat my guy.
I'm going to shock the world once again. Like every other time, and everybody said, it's impossible, not this guy, not this guy. And I'm going to go out there and you're going to see the boogeyman.
Is all set to take place in August 16, and the fans can't wait to witness the highly anticipated clash between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev for the middleweight belt. Meanwhile, Dricus Du Plessis' head coach fired a strong message at Khamzat Chimaev, saying they aren't trying to avoid his wrestling but plan to dominate
head-on and dominate. He argued that Chimaev is used to facing opponents who try to evade his grappling, but their approach will be to meet it with pressure and power. The coach also criticized Chimaev's striking, calling it one-dimensional and not a real threat. Confidently, he declared that they are the true challenge Chimaev must overcome.
Khamzat doesn't know what it is when people want to wrestle him. He's only facing guys who's trying to get away from his wrestling. We don't want to try to get away from his wrestling. We want to him up in his game. You can't think that you're going to beat my guy coming with one thing, and that's wrestling. That guy's one-dimensional. Have you seen his stand-up? I won't even give him a pro license for his stand-up. He doesn't present any problem for us. We are the problem.
He is a special fighter. He's incredibly good. But, jeez, I can't wait. This win for me is going to be history. I am going out there and I'm going to shock the world once again. Like every other time, and everybody said, it's impossible, not this guy, not this guy. And I'm going to go out there and you're going to see the boogeyman. You're going to see him break. You're going to see him break in there. And then realize there's only one boogeyman, and that's me. In the middleweight division, there can be only one boogeyman, and that's...
Khamzat is really known for his relentless pressure. He's an elite grappler as well. What can you exploit against him?
Yeah, I mean, Khamzat obviously world-class wrestling, grappling, but you know, this level of the sport, everybody's world-class. You know, this is not grappling or wrestling, this is MMA. And that's where I'm gonna exploit. As being the best in my, we're not fighting for a wrestling title, we're not fighting for a grappling title. We are fighting for the UFC title. And that's where I am the best. I'm not the best wrestler, I'm not the best grappler or best striker. But when you put all of those things together, if you combine it and that's the sport we do, I am the best.
I don't know, I believe him. When I've talked to him about it, and I remember even before he fought his last fight, he was saying, I want that guy. I want Khamzat. I want the guy that people think is the scary guy.
Respect that. So not everyone saying that, you know. So a lot of guys was running away from me, you know. So he gets the champ and he says I want to fight him. It's good. Respect. And what I can say about it. It's good for me.
Yeah, it is.
Dricus can go out and look good and get the win over Chimaev. I just think that ranking, he all of a sudden is going to be flirting with Islam space and Ilya space. He's going to be flirting with the top three. And I think that's the only way that we know how to compliment him in our industry. We give him a belt, we give him a main event, and then we give him a little bit more. And that top three placing pound for pound is very within reach right now for
a surprise that Chimaev is a favorite. No, I would expect him to be. But I also feel as though if I were predicting this today, I would lean Chimaev. As long as you didn't ask me a follow-up question. Like if I told you, hey, I think Chimaev's going to beat Dricus. Okay, great. If we all get up and walk out of the room, we're fine. The problem is if you're going to ask me how. How is he going to beat him? Because I am not fully confident that Chimaev can take him down at will. I'm not fully confident he can keep him there. We're going to know in the very first round. If Dricus gets taken down in the first round, things are going to unravel very quickly. But if he can defend a takedown for the entire first 5 minutes, it's only going to get easier to stay on your feet after that. It's an exciting match. I would expect Chimaev to be the favorite. And he is.
Is he overrated in your opinion?
No. I think he's
worthy of all the praise. He's worthy of all the praise and everything that he receives.
Absolutely. I think Khamzat is a special fighter. No, from the first time I saw him fight, I knew this guy was going to be special. 100%. I knew he was going to be special. There was a stage where he didn't fight for like 2 years or something. And listen, he speaks a lot more than he fights. I can tell you that much too. But There was a long period of time he was calling out every single person. That just started getting annoying. It was annoying the shit out of me. Because he was calling out welterweights, middleweights, light heavyweights, but he wasn't fighting anyone. But there was never ever a stage where I went, this guy's overrated. No, he is as good as people think. I think he's as good as people think. I just think I'm a lot better.
Khamzat Chimaev is just ridiculous, right? The wrestling on this guy is phenomenal. The way that he shoots a double leg and closes and covers so much distance, it's wild. He shoots from so far out that it shouldn't work, but he's so explosive and so powerful, he makes it work. He closes the distance, and all he needs to do is get a hold of you. So I assume that Khamzat is also ridiculously strong as well, because he's fast, powerful, he's explosive, he's got good wrestling, and if he gets his hands on you, you're going down. Tired in the past, but he still chooses to fight the same way. That's because he believes in his ability. He believes that all he needs is a minute or 2 minutes, or certainly at tops, 1 round with a guy, and he will put them down and he will finish them. And if he doesn't submit them, then he will knock them out. This is the self-belief that Khamzat Chimaev has. He is a very special fighter. However, the cardio could be an issue. We've spoken about that at length. He's got a new strength and conditioning coach. He's pushing himself to the limit.
Go on then, you got to give me your thoughts on Dricus Khamzat, if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. So I sparred. I mean, I fought Dricus, I fought Dricus, I fought. Dricus has better stand-up than Chimaev, but Chimaev has a pretty crazy grappling. Now, I've been training with these daggy terrorists my entire life. So it's like, I train with these, I know how to get up from these guys. I can withstand the storm. I don't know if he's encountered that level of wrestling to where it might get him a little off guard. But if he could handle it, get up and work his way up. I mean, it's kind of hard because, like, I mean, it's a long time ago, but Brad took him down and held him down. Actually took him down. But Brad took him down and held him down. So it's like, he just really has to be ready for an extreme amount of pressure on the ground. And if he can withstand that, he's on speed. Chimaev is just I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID. Bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people if you knew you wouldn't like. He'll come in here. There's a video of me always like, oh, you're so good. Khamzat, understand, you're better than most, you're better than everybody. So just don't hurt people. Like, I'm being sarcastic, like, bro, like, you go and you starch this 1-on-1 guy when there's like Edmund, there's like high level UFC fighters, and you're picking the 1-on-1 fighter because like you think he's the same height as your opponent. No, you're picking him because you're dude. Like, it's just, yeah, he's just like, no, he could fight, but like mentally, he's just a weak man. He's just
big, right? Khamzat's big. DDP's my size. I don't know if you know. Nowhere. You seen the picture of him and Bisping? Bisping's a big dude. DDP dwarfs big. DDP is walks around about 240. The first round, of course, if Khamzat wins, and if it ends before 2 rounds, it's Khamzat all day. I would extend that after seeing this to even the first 3 rounds. 4 and 5 is what I want to see. I want to see Khamzat in the 4th and 5th. And if Khamzat's lighting his ass up, because DDP is going to be tough to finish. So if Khamzat's in the 4th and 5th, finish him, then you got one. So for Khamzat, it's going to be dealing with that mass.
Who has DDP fought that's even close to that style, that explosive, shoot from 10 feet out, grab you, not let go till he gets what he wants?
That's why it's a great fight. Oh, because DDP hasn't fought anybody like Khamzat, and Khamzat hasn't fought anybody like DDP.
Marks, we don't know. Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs.
We've seen him being as exhausted as anybody can be in a 3rd round. This is a 5-rounder. Bring your 1st round. I am going to meet you in the middle, and we are going to wrestle. We can wrestle that 1st round, the whole 1st round. And then we come out in that 2nd round, and we'll see what we feel like. And we can wrestle you have around a minute left in that 2nd round, and then we're going to fight my fight. Then we're going to wrestle on my terms.
Why has it taken so long for you to fight again?
I don't know, man. Same question for you guys, for Dana White, for UFC. I can show a lot of message to these guys. Give me a fight. So, and I want to fight with the best guys, and they want to me put in somebody who has the name, not with the guys who's nobody. There are a lot of guys, young guys, new guys, and I want to fight Khamzat, I want to fight, but they didn't did anything to fight with me, you know. It's not fun to watch if I'm gonna smash somebody who nobody knows. It's not gonna make money for UFC as well. That's why I think it's hold a long time, you know.
Khamzat and Dricus fighting for the belts in just over a month's time. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup, stylistically?
So honestly, I'd have to say Dricus would be a favourite. He probably is a favourite, but I think I'm leaning towards Dricus. The question, the whole thing can be summed up. Chimaev will take him down.
Yeah.
Will he finish him before he gets back up? That's the $1 million question. Because if he doesn't finish him on the ground, I think he loses. But yeah.
Renner has trained with both of them. He said there's going to be an early storm by Chimaev, but he believes Dricus can sustain the storm, and each passing minute favors Dricus. Now, what he's talking about is conditioning. If you asked me about that fight 2 years ago or a year ago, even 6 months ago, I would have quickly dismissed it and told you Chimaev. I would tell you Chimaev every single round. But I don't feel that way anymore. I feel and I'm seeing what other people are feeling and seeing. The greatness of Dricus, it is something that is now not only witnessed, but recognized.
Now it's my time. Yeah, don't run too much. Let's wait, man.
Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. How do you feel about this fight?
Everybody know I used to work with Khamzat. I love the guy. After COVID, it really messed him up. One of the craziest things I ever seen. Thrown up like blood. As far as I know now, he's in Russia, he's in camp, he's focused, he's a superstar. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC. When you have this kind of pressure, sometimes people doesn't know how to handle it. It's hard to bet against focused Khamzat, healthy Khamzat. I think he can beat anyone on any given day. As talent, as technique, it's Khamzat. If you go to the third and fourth and fifth round, how this fight gonna go?
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs. And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
Do you think it's different with Du Plessis? Because he can wrestle.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits fucking hard, and he's a big, durable dude.
Is Khamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely, he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground, and he has to keep me there. Can I take Khamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Khamzat down? Absolutely. I'm not scared of Khamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Khamzat. That's the mistake everybody makes.
Is he good enough to defend the takedowns of Chimaev? Let's go further with it. Is he good enough to take Chimaev down? I've never seen Chimaev lose a stand-up fight. I want you to know how good Dricus is at a stand-up fight. Do you believe that Chimaev can tackle this man? Chimaev has gotten on top of everybody with...
You really are. I mean, you guys will change your mind like that, but I can't overly blame you. Like, there's one thing about this sport is we don't know anything about the sport. I mean, it really does feel like that. Like, right when you feel like, okay, the sport has evolved, here's what it is. And the sport did recently evolve. It recently evolved in that in 2012, gyms opened up that were MMA gyms. They were not, you didn't have a wrestling base and you caught some jiu-jitsu over here and you went, you got your boxing and maybe even had a trainer that put it all together once or twice a week. It wasn't like that anymore. You did not have wrestling matches. You did not have judo and jiu-jitsu matches. You did not have kickboxing and boxing and point karate matches. You had none of those. You had MMA. That started in about 2012 and it started in Russia. And then you get a decade later and those little boys are now champions of the world. But okay, we're done. We're done. We now know everything. Then you get somebody like Ilya steps in that doesn't have that. He's got the old-fashioned past. Matter of fact, he started in Greco-Roman wrestling. It was the first thing that he ever did. But he's got this power for anything he touches that destroys. Okay, but now we've seen it all. Now we've seen...
Khamzat Chimaev, an incredible fighter, very, very, very tough fighter. Has been hit with a few tests. Obviously, myself, obviously Burns. So, and he's passed. So, I'm excited to see how that fight goes with him.
That's going to be an amazing fight, and I think Khamzat is going to pull it off. But I do think that, you know, especially early, I think it's going to be tough for Dricus. But if he can push the fight into the later rounds, I think he can have an advantage. So it's going to be a really interesting one. But I'll bet my money on Khamzat in that one. But, you know, not like some people think that he's just going to run him over. But I think it's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's really interesting, especially like you said, if it goes into the later rounds. We've seen DDP go 5 rounds. I know he does look tired, right? Like he has this weird style where he kind of looks like he slows down, but he's going 5 rounds though, right? Like that's something that's kind of interesting. Where I don't believe Chimaev has before. So.
No, exactly, and we have seen like in the was it like the Burns and the Usman fight where he looks a little bit more tired in the later rounds. So yeah.
How is it? I know this was a couple of years ago, but how was it wrestling him, like just from the strength perspective? Because obviously he used to fight at 170, he's at 85 now, but I hear that he is very strong for the weight class. What was it like when you got to wrestle him that one time?
Nah, he's a really good, technical and super strong. You know, he looks like a tall, lanky guy, but he feels like a super strong guy. You know, he has amazing strength in his grips, and yeah, he's.
I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong. So I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much. And I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it. But I will say, I think it might be the toughest fight of his.
I have an incredible fighter. Very tough fighter. You know, has been hit with a few tests. Obviously, you know, myself, obviously Burns. So, and he's passed. So, I'm excited to see how that fight goes with himself and Dricus Du Plessis. I think that's a phenomenal fight. Both guys tough, extremely tough. So, that's one of the fights I'm looking forward to the most this year.
Let's do it. Oh.
The man, he's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
It's now, which direction are you putting that now? Are you transferring that to DDP?
I think DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out. And I think it's like a learning lesson.